time it is. It's that official time. Where we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape. Definitely bringing you the power of pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Power Slam show. Let's go! Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Power Slam show. Turn it up.
Back. Yeah. What's going on, PNP? We back in the building. Episode 531. We rocking with the son, J to the E, S-U-S. He's the best. Rocking with the fam. Ain't nothing less. Freestyling from the top of the dome is Dr. Chris. We in PNP gets hype, yo. We in P&P gets hype, yo. Episode 531, we hype, yo. Top of the dome. Rockin' Rick, Chris Featherstone, Dr. Psychology, yeah. We rockin' P&P, yeah. Yo. Yeah. We rocking with the fam. It's P&P Jam. Dr. Chris. With P&P. With the family. We talking wrestling. C, yo. The A, the E, yo. W-D-O-N. Double or nothing. Yeah or boo. Thumbs up or down. CM Punk champ. Right now, Hangman Page, pal, like Batman. He got knocked out. He went to sleep. CM Punk, new champ. New cheap shot. He's the shot. He's the spot. Yo, he's the new champ of the AEW. Like, whoa. Do you like it? Do you not? Thumbs up, thumbs down. How you feel? Let's talk about it right now. Yeah. Hey. We having a good time as always, y'all. I didn't even think I was going to freestyle, man, tonight. But man, every time I hear that beat, man, I just gotta freestyle, man. It's one of my favorite beats. As y'all know, I'm a huge fan of Chill Hop. I've got Aaron hooked to Chill Hop. I got a couple other people from the PNP Nation hooked to Chill Hop. Aaron being one of them. And yeah, man, every time I hear that beat, man, I love that joint. All right, so let's see what we got, PNP Nation. Let's have some fun. I've had an exhausting day today. Being a therapist is a taxing job, y'all. It is not for the weak at heart. It is a taxing job, and Therapy mixed with a bad back is not a good concoction. So, had a pretty exhausting day today. So, I'm ready to talk some wrestling with you for the next 25, 30 or so. Answer some hashtag ask doc questions and get your thoughts on Double or Nothing. I did watch the pay-per-view on Sunday. I've multiple times I've paid, not by myself, because I don't think I know I would never pay full price for an AEW pay-per-view. So every time I watch a AEW pay-per-view, I watch it with one or multiple people so we can split the bill. So and this is what happened this time too. And man, don't feel like I got my money's worth with this one, unfortunately. So Ricky's in the building. Another first time interview, I believe Mr. Hughes. Yep, first time Mr. Hughes. Yes, indeed. Malchi's in the building. Dion's in the building. Elizabeth love her some CM Punk. Current Impact star last week. Yeah. Shira. It was pretty cool, actually. What's the worst thing going on in WWE in your opinion? Good question, Elvis. Oh man, where do I start? The worst thing going on in double E as double E as who said that? Vladimir Kozlov. I love double E. Man. I would say 50-50 booking, man. I would say that that's the worst thing going on in WWE. There's out of the 50, 60, 70 talent they have in WWE, there's less than a handful of talents. There's less than a handful of talent that actually feels larger than the business. And I mean less than a handful. As far as like a new star, the only person who's on the current roster that is a new star, like that is a this era star, is Roman Reigns. He's the only person from this era that feels that is larger than life. He's it. And that's sad. That's so sad, man. There hasn't been anyone that felt larger than the business since. I mean, you can throw Cena in there, but yeah, he's doing movies now and stuff, but he still has that WWE feel to him. He doesn't feel like he's transcended the business, even though he's been in multiple movies. I mean, he has transcended the business technically, but he's still that WWE guy. Like Batista's transcended the business. Like he's not just pegged as a WWE guy. Like Batista's like legit doing some good stuff. He's an actor now. Of course, The Rock. But I mean, outside of Cena and Batista, I mean, post Ruthless Aggression, who post Ruthless Aggression? So say Ruthless Aggression is from 01 to 05, maybe. 05 was the advent of the Cena era when he won the title, the World Heavyweight Championship for the first time. So I say Ruthless Aggression ended, right during the invasion angle. So late 01 to Mania time 05. So 3.5 years. And Ruthless Aggression, you had Brock and Orton and Batista. And those three, in that class, that 02 class, you also throw in Shelton Benjamin in there. But those three out of that '02 class, Batista, Brock, and Orton, all three of them, have been wildly successful. But post Ruthless Aggression, that 2002 class, Roman Reigns is the only person that feels bigger than the business. And that was 20 years ago. So they've really developed one legendary style talent in 20 years. I mean, you throw in Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins is still not the guy. He's a heck of a name in WWE, but he's definitely not the guy. He's not the star guy. He has way too many gimmicks to be like established as the guy. Great in the ring, but he doesn't have the presence either. Man, I really can't think of anybody that is bigger than the business other than Roman Reigns over the past 20 years. And that right there is a huge problem. And I mean, huge. It's a huge problem. It's huge. It's huge. All right, let me pull up Hell in a Cell. And then I'm going to talk about AEW, Double or Nothing. All right, let's see. Let's go through these. Let's go through Hell in a Cell. This is going to be, I think this and Money in Bank are going to be two whack pay-per-views. At least Money in Bank has something going for it. At least it has an element of surprise. But this pay-per-view is going to be horrible, I think. Cody and Seth, it would make zero sense if 3 matches in, Seth decides to beat Cody in Hell in a Cell. That would just take so much away from Cody's character. So Cody wins, but him beating Seth Rollins 3 times, okay. It goes to show my point. I mean, Seth not being bigger than the business, because there's no way that they would let Roman Reigns do that. They would cause Roman Reigns to do that. Triple threat women's match: Bianca, Asuka, and Becky. I can see Bianca keeping it. I can see her keeping it. They need a good heel to feud with her, because she's just kind of lost in limbo right now. She doesn't feel like the top of the business. She has all of the potential to be the top of the business. I mean, she has everything, but they're not booking her to feel bigger, large. They're not building her big. And that's a huge problem. Lastly, against Omos and MVP, who cares? But I think Lashley wins. Ezekiel and Owens, again, don't care. Ezekiel, I guess. Theory and Ali. To get that feel good moment at a very lackluster pay per view, I wouldn't be surprised if they have Ali win. As a way to, give them something back for the weight and the holding up the contract, wanting the release, and they kind of promising him something decent. However, WWE has tended to be petty, and after what Ali has done and said, and for them to give him a title for it, it would be surprising. Judgment Day against Balor, Styles, and Morgan. I think Judgment Day wins, but again, I don't care. There's 6 matches scheduled for this. 6 matches. There's 6 matches scheduled for Hell in a Cell. Whoa. Who should beat the Usos? I would say the Street Profits, but they've booked the Street Profits so poorly. I mean, they just feel like um, they just feel like a filler team all the time. They just feel filler so much. They haven't really built a reputable tag team that feels like strong baby faces. And again, it's like your tag team division sucks. You have heel Alpha Academy. You have some makeshift team with Nakamura and Riddle that doesn't, it just feels like a knockoff of RK Bro. And I like Nakamura a lot. He's probably in my top 5 in WWE men's. But it just feels like a knockoff. Street Profits is filler, like I said. That their tag team division sucks, man. There's just so many things wrong with WWE. It's terrible. Double Nothing was way too long. 6 hours for pay-per-view is ridiculous. AEW aren't over enough to do that. Also, former WWE, Eric, this is why WWE is so much better than AEW. I wouldn't say I don't know about WWE is much better than AEW. I think Raw is worse than AEW. SmackDown's better than AEW. SmackDown's the best show on television, I believe. But AEW, I mean, I watch it. I'm a journalist. I get paid to watch those shows and talk about them. And so, I mean, this is part of my job to watch those shows. SmackDown, I can get through. SmackDown, I've said this on my shows with Vince. I can get through SmackDown. SmackDown is something that I hardly ever watch live, and I can get through an episode of SmackDown typically. Does it hit a triple every week? No. Does it hit a double every week? No. But more oftentimes than not, it at least hits a single. So I can rock with that. At least give me a single. Raw usually strikes out every week. Maybe a foul ball or a fly ball, foul, base hit, someone stealing the base or something like that, but typically it strikes out. So, but SmackDown I can rock with. Dynamite is just too all over the place. It's just there's some good spots, but overall it's just AEW just irks me because there's so many like spot fests, it's just a bunch of marks and just a lot of people who just are just savages about just venomous savages and just bloodthirsty savages when it comes to just spots, man. And I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy someone almost killing themselves for some spot for a fan to say this is awesome or holy bleep, and just for another spot. And that's not wrestling. And people are getting hurt because of that. Jeff Hardy should know better. Jeff Hardy has been doing these spots. Dude's 45, 46 years old. I think he was born in 77? So like 45 or about to be 45? Jeff Hardy was born in 77, I believe. Yeah, 77. He'll be 45 in August. Almost 45 years old doing these spots. And he was hurt in a Double or Nothing because of the Derby match. Yeah. You think? You think? You'd probably be hurt when you're doing those spots with someone, over a decade or younger than you are. I mean, yeah, that's a whole decade plus of wear and tear on your body. Come on. You should know this. And of course you're going to be hurt. Almost 45-year-old Jeff Hardy. Doesn't make sense to me. And Rampage is, it just feels just scripted and just a bunch of matches thrown together. So it's just, I mean, the only thing that I do like, I mean, like, there's a few things I like. I like the Blackpool Combat Club. I like, I'm actually not opposed to factions per se, like just some random factions like the Gun Club and the Acclaimed. Like, I'm like, this is another throwing people together thing. Blackpool Combat Club, I can respect the formation of that. Um, and I'm cool with factions if they get a younger talent over. That's the reason why I was a big fan of Evolution, because Evolution got over Batista and Orton. Because of Evolution, both Batista and Orton got into main event statuses. Orton won the title um, with Evolution, and that's when Triple H did the thumbs down. Batista, lets your chair drops Randy Orton, babyface turn. Batista wins the Royal Rumble, has the opportunity, I think, to face him. I think it was Triple H or JBL, if I'm not mistaken. JBL that had the other championship, the one that Cena won, I believe. And so Batista broke away from Evolution. I mean, that right there, that is a faction that worked because it built two younger talent, and or at least current talent, because Batista's older, just at the same age as Triple H is, but he was a younger talent as far as his tenured career is concerned. So two younger tenured talent, and build both of them into world champions. I mean, that's a faction right there. And the Blackpool Combat Club is building Wheeler Yuta, and I can appreciate that, because when Yuta was with the Best Friends, that didn't do anything. It did absolutely nothing when he was with Best Friends. He would be the one jobbing out most of the time. So if the Blackpool Combat Club is building up Wheeler Yuta, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate the Blackpool Combat Club for that purpose. But everybody, all the other factions, AFO, which looks like they're no longer a thing anymore because Roosh is there, and looks like they're ditching them. But you had the HFO when Hardy was, leading, which was horrible. And then you had the AHFO when they didn't know what to do with Andrade, so they just threw him with Hardy. I mean, this is terrible, man. You're bringing in all this talent and you have no idea what to do with them. You have no idea what to do with them. You bring in Andrade. He does this thing with Darby for a second, and then he goes in with Hardy, AHFO, which is weird, and Hardy gets kicked out, and now he's with a bunch of J Brones. And as far as how they're booking him, a bunch of J Brones and Private Party and the Butcher and the Blade, and it's just, and the Bunny, it's just horrible. Now they don't know what to do with them. They're probably going to be, jobbing out. Yeah, you just you brought in Christian. Oh wow, Christian Cage is here. He ends up being Impact champion and has a title shot against Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega. Yeah, I don't know what they would do with him. Just throw him in with Jurassic Express and replacement of Marco Stunt, which for Christian right now, I think that's actually a decent spot, because if Christian made some random heel turn, he would be buried under all the other heels that aren't doing anything or is above him doing barely anything. So it would just be pointless if he did a heel turn and feuded against the Jurassic Express by himself, or bring Jungle Boy to the dark side and manage him. And then that'll be some random feud that'll last for a hiccup with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. And then it'll last for a hiccup, and that'll get buried with all the other talent. It's just like, Okay, sweet. Let's bring in Keith Lee. Let's bring in Swerve. Let's see. I really don't know what to do with them. Let's just put them together. Let's just put them together. Swerve and No Glory. All right, there you go. There you go. Just bring them in. This. Come on, just come on in. Come on in. I don't know what to do with you, Miro. Sure, let's make them some. What's old boy's name? Oh gosh, see, I don't even remember his name. Penelope Ford's dude. Yeah, that guy. Comes in with him as the video game guy, and that lasted for a hiccup, and then now God's forever son loses to Daniel Bryan, lost in the shuffle. Don't even know what to do with Miro. Yeah, I don't know what to do with you. Sorry, I'm not going to bring you in yet. Like, it's crazy how they're bringing in person after person after person. It feels like WCW and TNA all over again. Double or Nothing was way too long. It was way too long. You can't have a pay-per-view last for 5.5 hours. And it's not even like their big pay-per-view. The big pay-per-view is all out. I mean, it is a major pay-per-view, but I mean, AEW really only has like big pay-per-views anyways. Like they only have a few a year. So yeah, not good. Not good. And CM Punk winning the championship. I predicted that he would, but we could have done without that. We could have done without it. You know, Khan and company spend so much about WWE talent or ex-WWE talent or wanting to be this or that and making fun of them having to switch venues, but you've got a homegrown talent as in Hangman Page. You're not patient with them being champ. Is Zabroso still going to be on? Haven't seen it in the last couple weeks. So we're making some. We're doing a relaunch with that. So we're going to. So stay tuned. We're going to be doing a relaunch. Great interview with Mr. Hughes. Thank you, Chris. I really can't grade AEW nothing. Didn't see it, but I found out what happened on Facebook. My grade out of 10, I would give it a 6. That's probably nice. Oh, yeah, probably a 5. Yeah, 5. Trying to figure out what I did like a lot. Man, wait a minute. What in the world stood out? I really like Wardlow, the Wardlow MJF feud. I think that's the best thing going in AEW, hands down, because it's really building a star. That's what pro wrestling should be about. It's building a babyface. So that's one of the best things going in pro wrestling. So I'll give them that. I'll give AEW that as a whole. The Wardlow gimmick, the Wardlow build, very good. Well done for them. So I did like that. Hookhausen winning. I mean, it's a gimmick. Wardlow and MJF. It seems like MJF came and reluctantly finally got to a point of saying, okay, well, I'll come to this event, I'll come to this date, I'll show up, instead of not. And it seems like MJF just wasn't himself, and you could tell with seemingly all the room and friction that's going on with them. Hardys and Young Bucks was okay. It was just okay. Jay Cargill and Anna Jay, I mean, it was predictable. Athena coming out was good. I'm a big Athena Ember Moon fan, but weird, very, very weird debut to me though. Like again, it just goes to show how many people AEW has. AEW can't even have people debut by themselves. Like that just goes to show how congested AEW is. You can't even have someone come out by themselves. You had to have Anna Jay and Chris Statlander with Athena, and so all of a sudden she comes in. Chris Statlander wants, Jade. Anna Jay wanted Jade. Athena comes in, and all of a sudden they just have to just go in the back burner. I mean, the logic of pro wrestling makes zero sense. And again, Athena is one of my favorite female wrestlers, but her debut felt incomplete. It felt a little forced. It felt inauthentic. I wish it would have been just her by herself. Maybe Anna Jay gets. I wouldn't even put Statlander in there, and I like Chris Statlander a lot actually, but I wouldn't even put Statlander in there. Anna Jay gets jumped, lights go off. The big entrance for Athena comes out. She takes out Kiera Hogan. She takes out Red Velvet, and then Jade plays a chicken crap heel, and then she walks out. Could have done it that easy. That easy. House of Black defeating Death Triangle. So Julia Hart. Okay. Sure. I mean, at least there's a story with that, but it's like, yay, Julia Hart turned heel. Yay. That's the point there. Julia Hart was a babyface and people didn't care. When she turned heel, people cheer. That alone, stuff like that is what's wrong with pro wrestling. Makes no sense at all. And it's selfish. Cole beating Joe and then Britt Baker beating Ruby Soho. You kind of knew that was going to happen with them both wearing pink and all that. And to me, I don't know. I'm a big fan of people staying in their gimmicks. You get paid. You get hired and paid to be a gimmick. You got to live your gimmick. And if you had to heal it up somehow, like they cut a promo afterwards, thank you, but you all suck still, or you would have never been approved by any of the Hearts or anything like that, and then Oj come down. Oj looks like $1 million. Oj comes down and tries to protect them, and then it gets super kicked, and then he gets the gimmick, the submission gimmick from Britt Baker. I mean, you gotta make this a thing. Heal it up, man. Don't just have them win the tournament just to win the tournament and kiss each other. I mean, just like we're seeing these random power couples for what? I mean, this is stupid, man. In the American Top Team, that gimmick was weird. I mean, people can't stand Sammy Guevara, but they're still trying to keep him babyface, kind of, because Frankie Kazarian is babyface, and then now he's having beef, and now the American Top Team is definitely heels with Dan Lambert, and Scorpio Sky turned on Frankie Kazarian, so he's still a heel. It's mind-boggling confusion. O'Reilly defeating Darby Allin, that was weird. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly is a tag team guy. Darby Allin's a singles guy. I mean, he's teaming with Sting, but he's been known to be a singles guy. Random loss by Darby Allin. Yeah, that's a way to push one of your pillars. Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb, that was a solid match. Anarchy Arena, I just really couldn't get into that one that much. The end was okay. It just seems like we're going to see more of this, but then you got Kingston and Daniel Bryan beefing. And I was asking a good friend, I was like, I didn't really understand the beef. I don't get the beef between Eddie Kingston and Daniel Bryan. I've watched every single AEW Dynamite show, And most of the Rampage shows, almost all of the Rampage shows, at least no highlights of them. And I don't understand the beef between Daniel Bryan and Eddie Kingston. I don't get it. Jurassic Express winning the tag matches. I was hoping that Team Taz win to have that heel heat, to have some babyface teams chase it. But Jurassic Express, they're still giving it to them. It is what it is. And then CM Punk won. So that was, so based on all that, I give it a 5. 5. Wasn't big on it. All right, few more. Let's see. Dion is in the building. Good comments, y'all. Let's see. Lots of hashtag XDoc. Yes, I was really disappointed. For sure. Should a Great Muta be in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely. 100%. Without a doubt, the Great Muta should be in the Hall of Fame. C-Rise in the building. What's up? I would love to interview Ron Simmons. How's my back? Thank you for asking. Still hurts really bad, actually. Still hurting really bad. They actually ordered the wrong shots. I was supposed to be getting Botox injections, but they gave me trigger point injections, which they've done that multiple times before and it didn't do anything. And I told them that. And still, they made a mistake and decided to give me the wrong shots. And it didn't do anything as I thought. So now I'm going to have to get Botox injections like expected, but my back still hurts really, really bad every single day. Hey, Seuss, what's up, my man? Do I agree that Double or Nothing was better than Raw last night? Yes, I do. I agree with that. It was terrible. Raw's terrible. It's horrible. Tony WWE Mark Khan said he won the Friday Night War like they are actually, oh gosh, that's very marky. Actually, competition for WWE, he's just a complete doofus. Also taking shots at Vince McMahon. He rips up scripts. If it wasn't for Vince, there would be no AEW ran over. Yeah, I can't disagree with that, Ricky. I'm not a big fan of that. What I saw on Facebook, AEW did a better job than Raw last night. AEW wasn't good, but Raw's horrible. Raw's terrible. Horrible. Dion's nursing a sore hip. Stupid me forgot to stretch before bowling after being off. Oh, man. Praying for your speedy recovery on that. Be sure to stretch next time, my man. John Cena, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar. Yeah, but post 2002. In your house, dude, I have no clue. I don't watch it. I don't watch NXT, but like I said before, I don't know. C-Rye is supposed to be my NXT correspondent on the show. I don't know. Speaking of C-Rye, thoughts on Jeff Jarrett running live shows now. Good for him. Big fan. Big fan of that decision. Makes perfect sense. He's ran multiple companies. He's ran 3. Ring of King, of course, TNA, and Global, and Global Force Wrestling. So who better than running live events? Actually, I was talking to Jeff recently. Nice guy. He actually name dropped me on his interview with Sportskeeda. He name dropped me. That was pretty cool. Yeah, super cool guy. I've talked to Jeff Jarrett multiple times, and super nice to me, man. He actually gave me free tickets one time. I met him here, and he gave me free tickets to a TNA event, and I went, and it was fun. For added Madcap also Abby Corbin, the Usos are Riddle and Shinsuke Nakamura. If added, I don't get that. On the other podcast, In Your House, all the champions are retaining except I think at least one of the title changed hands, which I think is tag team. So again, I don't know, but I do not watch NXT. I do not. I every now and then I watch the pay-per-view. I used to watch every pay-per-view just to stay abreast of everything, but I have no reason to watch NXT. Like I used to keep for up until probably a couple months ago. I would look at the like the IG, like their IG, just to keep track of what's going on. But man, I just have zero interest in NXT 2.0. I just don't, man. I've been a wrestling fan for over 35 years, so I give it a shot, but I tried, man. I just don't have interest. I may catch up on some like highlights on the network on the WWE YouTube just to kind of see what's going on. I do see that I saw the Stand and Deliver. I saw a big chunk of that. That's the last pay-per-view I saw for Stand and Deliver. And I saw Solo doing some things. I mean, will he be a member of the Bloodline? Why not? Why not? Ember Moon, Michael Bivens. Again, like I said, I mean, I like Ember Moon. I like Athena a lot, but just a random. Malcolm Bivens, it wasn't really any rhyme or reason why Mark Sterling left. I mean, did Jade want a black manager? I mean, what's the what? Hopefully, we get more on this in Dynamite because it would make no sense. There was nothing that made sense out of this. Smart Mark Sterling, because he sent the Crutchin wrong. Therefore, Malcolm Bivens or Stokely Hathaway, he was in the back waiting for him to make a mistake, and if he did, he was going to come out and be the new manager. I mean, no rhyme or reason. Yes, basically Stadium Stampede. Yes, indeed. Interesting. Where's Marco Stunt gone? Just away from AEW. They didn't renew his contract. I love your take on wrestling. Very entertaining about saying throwing people together. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Kip Saban. Thank you, Elvis. Thank you. Appreciate that, Ricky. Andrade El Idolo, the greatest Mexican wrestler of all time. I heard he's back in the States. That's more matches than NXT at WWE pay-per-views. Greatest Mexican wrestler of all time. Oof. I don't think so. I don't think so. As far as Mexican, I mean, do you add Rey Mysterio in there? Do you throw him? If that's the case, I mean, if you're talking like Lucha style, Rey Mysterio, absolutely. Do I think the Del Rio should join Del Rio? What? You mean El Idolo? Do I think? No, man. It's just another throwing stuff together. What killed pro wrestling? What killed pro wrestling was Mark fans who cares about spots and wrestling culture biting on the fact that fans just wanted bloodthirsty spots. And when kayfabe, when people tried to kill kayfabe, that ruined the business, ruined it, absolutely ruined it. And I mean, it's trying a true method to return that way. That's where it should be. That's the way it should be. All this spot stuff, people get tired of. And then they start booing wrestlers because they're not giving them spots enough or they don't like what they're doing. Fans are so fickle. You can't put the livelihood of the whether a wrestler is good or bad based on the fans. That's ridiculous. The fans literally have booed and cheered the same wrestler in the same match. They've done it with Punk. They've done it with Kingston. They've done it with Hangman Page. They've done it with Daniel Bryan. They've done it with Adam Cole. They do it with so many wrestlers. They will boo him and cheer him in the exact same match. So you have to spend the time creating characters that's so infectious and attractive or so hateable that the fans have no choice but to boo or cheer them because they're so infectious or they're so hateable. If you're giving too much power to the fans. People aren't over because the fans are fickle and they'll boo and cheer a wrestler in the same match, and they do it all the time. They do it all the time. They've done it with Punk. I see the comments. Punk was basically the savior. It was like the second coming of Jesus, and I'm a huge Christian, diehard, devout Christian. I mean, they was treating people crying last August when he came back, and after 7 years, and it was just like it was like some, uh, uh, just divine moment that people were just, was waiting all their lives for. It seemed like it was crazy. And now people are saying, yeah, because, he's old and he needs to go home. And he took his ball and went home. I mean, like, you didn't say that, 10 months ago when he came? You didn't say that 10 months ago when he came, did you? He was the same CM Punk that should have went home. That's old and, he didn't work in UFC. And it's just fickle. Like Daniel Bryan said during his gimmick, fickle. And he was being a character, but that's a shoot. You can't put that much power in the fans. You can't. Aaron says fans popping for heels is crazy. I agree. All right, a few more before we go. What if Del Rio goes to AEW? He'll be in a faction. Thank you, Chris. I have tried lidocaine patches several times. Really didn't work out. Riddle Reigns and get injured so Orton can challenge Reigns at Mania for revenge and take Orton being the one that beats Reigns. No, that's horrible. You need to build something. You need to build a star to beat Reigns, not have a 14-time champ. Next move with Lesnar. Nothing really. I mean, there's really nothing else. Unless you have Omos beat, which would be horrible. Omos beat Lashley, and then Lesnar come and beat Omos, but that would be horrible. I mean, there's really nothing else to do with them. There's nothing. There's just nothing. There's nothing. There's no way. There's no reason to even bring him in. I think about it to Hell in a Cell. Madcap Moss beats Happy Corbin. Usos beats Rito and Shinsuke Nakamura. Sure, but okay. Miro's back in the States. Oh yeah, he lives in Tennessee, but I don't know he's doing a movie. Yes, I did talk. I talked to Brian Cage on the phone recently. He's doing all right. Internet doing internet kill wrestling. I can see that. Yep, I can see that. Roosh, greatest Mexican. No, I don't know. Del Rio. Right. Good. Well done. I agree. Ricky, you are on a roll tonight, man. The AEW marks proud for these debuts like it's The Rock and Stone Cold. Well said. Oh my gosh, it's Swerve Scott. Again, I like Swerve, but no, that's Swerve Scott. Whoa, it's Danhausen. Oh my gosh. What? It's Danhausen. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. Danhausen, what? I would have never thought of that. I would have never dreamed of that. Yeah. Help him, Lord. Help him. All right. It's time. Yeah. It's time to go. Yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. Good question, Tion. My answer would be I don't know, Kane. Give Kane the title, but not 2 titles. Split them up and give one to Kane. Good night, Ricky. They do it in New Japan, so Tony Khan got that from them. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Good night, Dion. PNP, I'll see you later. I'll see you later.